everyone, and Happy New Year. Welcome to Meaningful Conversations with Top Cause. I'm Melky, your host, and as we step into this fresh, unwritten chapter of 2025, I couldn't be more excited to share this moment with you. Now, I know this new year often feels like a flurry of resolutions and promises we make to ourselves. Promises that, let's be honest, sometimes fizzle out faster than a bottle of sparkling champagne. But this year, let's try something different. Let's talk about not just doing more, but being more. Today's episode is about stepping into the new year with a sense of connection to what truly matters. Not resolutions, but intentions that bring meaning, growth, even a little humor to your life. Grab a coffee, notebook, or just settle in. Let's get into it. Before we dash into the future, let's take a pause to look back at the year that was. Because reflection isn't just a stroll down memory, it's the foundation for growth. Let me share a story. It was late December last year, and I'm sitting by my window watching the rain drizzle outside. The scene felt like it was straight out of a Ruskin Bond novel, quiet, introspective, and strangely soothing. I began writing down what 2024 had taught me, and one moment really stood out. There was this conversation I had with a friend over tea, a simple yet profound talk about finding joy in small things. She told me about how she had started gardening during the weekends and how watching her plants grow made her feel more connected to life. The story stuck with me because it wasn't about achieving something big. It was about nurturing what already existed. So there was a profound question that I asked myself, and I would like you to ask yourself, what's one thing from 2024 that you want to carry forward? It could be a small habit, maybe a meaningful conversation, or even a lesson learned from a challenge. Write it down. Sometimes it's the little things that create the biggest ripple effects. All right, let's get real about New Year's resolution. We have all made them, right? I'm going to wake up at 5 a.m. every day. Or this year, I'll run a marathon. Fast forward 3 weeks and you're hitting snooze or negotiating with yourself about why walking to the fridge counts as cardio. My take on this is that resolutions are like setting out to climb Mount Everest when you have barely hiked up the local hill. Let's ease into the year instead of sprinting into it. Imagine this. What if you treated January like the warm-up lap of a race? You don't have to go full throttle. You just have to show up. For example, last year, I decided I would start journaling every day. Sounds good, right? Except by the end of week 2, my journal entries were starting to look like this. Today was fine, ate a sandwich, not exactly soul-searching stuff. So instead, I changed my approach. I started writing just one sentence every day. A highlight, a thought, or even a random observation. And you know what? That stuck. So my advice is to make your goals bite-sized and fun. Instead of saying I'll work out 5 times a week, say I'll dance in my living room to one song every morning. Small wins are still wins. And they are a lot less stressful. Trust me on that. Let me share another story, one that might resonate as we think about stepping into this year with grace. Years ago, I visited a little hill town during the winter. It was one of those places where time seemed to slow down and the air smelled of pine and damp earth. There was an old man who ran a tiny bookshop on the corner of the street, and every day he would sit outside with a steaming cup of tea watching the world go by. One afternoon, I asked him, "Don't you ever feel restless sitting here day after day?" And he smiled and said, "No, I'm not sitting, I'm listening. The world speaks if you let it." That profound statement, that moment stayed with me because it wasn't about rushing to do more. It was about being present. The old man wasn't just running a shop. He was part of the community's heartbeat. That's the kind of present I want to bring into 2025. Not chasing after the next big thing, but listening to what life is quietly teaching me. Your growth isn't just about you. When you set intentions, you are creating ripples that touch everyone around you. Think about it. If you decide to show up with more kindness in your interactions, how does that affect your relationships with others? If you choose to be more present, how does that influence your workplace? These aren't hypothetical questions. They are real opportunities to make an impact. Remember, the smallest shifts can lead to the most profound changes. As we wrap up this episode, let's ground ourselves in a question. What kind of year do you want 2025 to be? Not just in terms of what you achieve, but in how you feel connected, purposeful, and alive. If this resonates with you, I would love to help you make it happen. Visit my website to book a discovery call. Let's have a conversation about how you can turn your intentions into meaningful impact, whether it's in your personal growth or your relationships or your career. Thank you for spending this New Year's moment with me. Here's to a year filled with reflection and deep connection. Until next time, on Meaningful Conversations with Top Cause. Remember, every episode is released on every Sunday. Take care and keep growing.